Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new video setting the stage for Dexter New Blood. I'm so excited. I don't know how I could possibly be so excited for a revival of a show that ended so terribly, but yet here we are.
That is exactly why I am excited. That finale of Dexter was bad. I mean,
Ugh.
let's not even sugarcoat that. It was bad. So the fact that it's actually going to be coming back, and I know that they're kind of promoting this a little bit like not a spin-off but kind of like a spin-off because they're like, oh, it's years in the future, it's Dexter New Blood. It's just like, okay, it's the same character, it's still his life, it's not really a spin-off. Like, you are still keeping that terrible ending, it's just we're moving into this sort of new era of Dexter and what has been going on with him during this time.
Would you be okay if the Dexter New Blood had kicked off with like Dexter thinking back at the events of the series finale and then he wakes up and realizes that it was all some sort of really bad dream?
I actually would like there to be something in there where Dexter Morgan himself recognizes that this was kind of terrible and a terrible idea. And clearly it didn't work for him
No,
because he's no longer doing that anymore.
no.
But before we get too much into this Dexter New Blood preview, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it's going to be back November 7th and we are going to have reviews up after the episodes each week and you don't want to miss out.
And if you want to keep up with us on Instagram, in addition to keeping up with us here, check that out at Matt and Jess TV. We have all sorts of fun stuff that is going to be happening over there.
Okay, so as we said, there is going to be a massive time jump here.
Yeah, like right from the get-go, we're going to be moving forward several years. And I do like the fact that Dexter, the show is not pretending as though some significant amount of time has passed. Like they don't have to justify, Michael C. Hall looking older than he did at the end of Dexter himself. It's like, okay, we got a natural aging process here. We can all sort of imagine in our head what happened in all these years that these characters were away.
I'm happy that they did it this way, that it's just Michael C. Hall looks like what he's going to look like
Yeah.
all these years later. We've seen shows like This Is Us age people up 10 years where it looks like they've aged them up like 25, 30 years, like from 40 to 50, but really they look like they're 70.
This is more natural, guys.
Yes.
Listen, Dexter, he's gone through a lot seemingly. I also like that there's enough of a time jump here so that they could pluck Dexter away from where he was in the series finale and now stuck him in this new setting, this fictional community of Iron Lake, so that they don't have to be like, oh, we're forcing ourselves to do the same exact nonsense we did at the end of the original show.
Yeah, he's in this small town, Iron Lake, New York, where he's working at like a hunting store, ironically, I'm sure, but it's just, he's also living under the name Jim Lindsay or James Lindsay, so he's hiding out, I mean, for obvious reasons, but he's seemingly doing really well in the community. We see him in the trailer, walking down the street. Hello, how's it going? Everybody knows him. He's got a girlfriend who has a striking resemblance to Deb. And we know that there was that whole Deb loves Dexter. She's in love with her brother storyline that went on, I think, in season 6, which a lot of us didn't like. I was not a fan of that, but I mean, it happened. So is there something to that, or is it just they cast the best person for the role and they just happen to look like Deb? I don't know. I think that it was on purpose.
It is either a happy coincidence, a creepy coincidence, or it is very just deliberate. But you know what? We just have to sort of deal with whatever that is going to be. But I am happy. You mentioned him being so friendly and everything else, kind of on the streets of this town. And I think this speaks to, despite the fact that Dexter is a serial killer and he has this enormously dark side, he has this just like charm about him where he can sort of turn it on. And that's why he was able to get away with what he did in Miami for so many years, because everybody was just like, hey, it's Dexter. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, here's the donuts. How's it annoying. Yeah, he does. He knows when to turn it on and how to turn it on when he has to. And everybody in town, really likes him. He's charming everyone. Like I said, he's got a girlfriend who's a cop, which is not
Yeah.
that surprising. I mean, he did work for police enforcement before in the past. So Dexter hasn't killed in a while, seemingly. But when his girlfriend mentions that kids have started going missing, it's really stirring something up in him.
Dexter, this is the first question that I have for you. Why couldn't you just date like a DJ or I don't know, somebody who worked at a grocery store or I don't know, could you even like just date somebody with a nice happy career that does not surround you with death because the moment that she's going to come to you and be like, "Oh, these people are missing." Of course, this impulse is going to come back. It's inevitable. This is who he is.
And this is where it starts to get a little bit deeper with Dexter. Like, yes, he could have chosen to date anyone, but he chose a cop. And I mean, when he chose his job before working for police enforcement, it's all part of his draw into this world.
It's something where I think there's a big part of him that he can't escape from no matter where he goes, no matter what he does. And I think that's probably going to be one of the sort of central themes of this show is sort of saying that, okay, this is Dexter. He may have other layers, but this is still a part of him and he has to figure out how to live with it, how to contend with it.
Well, he's also making a choice. Like, he knows who he is. He knows who he is very intimately, and he's decided to date a cop. That is on purpose. He can date anyone he wants. So, while part of it is just a draw towards this stuff, he's also making a choice where I think it's just he's starting to feel like he wants to kind of help again, find a way to, give himself permission to be back killing people again.
All of this, him getting back into this world, it all really kind of brings us into the first like genuine surprise that I sort of felt with how New Blood was being promoted, because I did think that Jennifer Carpenter was going to be involved somehow just because it's hard to imagine it without her, but I did not think that they would reveal before the premiere that she is back. I thought they were going to try to leave this as some sort of like big surprise that we could all act like shocked about, but they revealed it early.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I'm not too surprised that they revealed it early because Deb is such an important part of this universe. To have Dexter without Deb is just real strange. So it makes sense that they would want people to know, don't worry, we hear you, because people did not like that ending either. I hated that
Yeah.
ending. Not only did I not like that Deb died, but I absolutely hated that he put her in garbage bags and dropped her in the ocean like he did with the people that he didn't like, people that he was, thought were beneath him, thought were bad people, and he disposed of her the same way. I hated that ending. And I know that there's other people that did as well. So I'm not surprised that they were like, listen, we hear you. She's coming back. She's going to be the new Harry. And with this sort of being this not a spin-off, but kind of a spin-off.
Yeah.
I understand that it's like new blood. Okay, we need a new Harry. Now Deb is going to be sort of his consciousness.
I want to know what happens to Harry now. It's like Harry just lose his job? Is he just like sent off into like imagination purgatory? I feel a little bit bad for Harry, but no, I'm glad that Deb has this sort of role. I'm also just excited to see what Jennifer Carpenter sort of does with this, because I'm sure she's not going to play it just like, the Harry character was. Like, it's going to have her own angle, and it's also a projection of Deb. It's whatever Dexter feels like Deb would be in his head, and I think that's a very curious, interesting sort of distinction.
Okay, so here's the part of the trailer where I'm like, question mark? I'm not sure that this is what I'm liking. His son, Harrison. So the last time that we saw Harrison, he was being taken off by Hannah to go to wherever, and that was going to be the end of that. So we saw in the trailer that he is now a teenager. He's older, and he has somehow, at like, what is he, 13, found Dexter under, he's under this other name, hidden out in a town. How did this happen? How would he have found Dexter? Question mark. I'm not sure that I'm really into this. They're gonna have to really convince me.
Think you got to put even a couple more question marks after that because I am just like, this is so weird. It is. I understand there's some sort of probably thematic tie that they're trying to make here when it comes to fathers and sons and like legacy and all of that sort of stuff. But you just said it. Harrison's a kid, and I understand. I'm presuming that he was with Hannah for some substantial period of time. I mean, it doesn't sound like Yvonne Strahovski's coming back for this, so we're probably not going to see her. But I don't know if it's like he learned from her, like how to track people or some sort of other like ability to make him good at this. It just feels weird that nobody else ever found, Dexter Morgan's body. Nobody else ever really got closure to this. I'm presuming that other people would be looking for him. So why is it that this kid is better at it than anyone else in the universe?
Dexter is dating a cop that can't figure it out, but this 13-year-old can. So my feeling is it's probably something along the lines of Hannah maybe had kept in touch with him, or I don't know. I know he originally was kind of like, no, you just take him. I'll never see him again. But maybe he changed his mind down the road and contacted her to just be like, listen, down the road, if he ever needs to find me, this is how. I don't know why he would do that. Like, he's in hiding. He felt that Harrison was going to be taken care of in a good way. I know that Hannah wasn't a great person either, but
No.
I mean, he may have felt confident that Harrison was going to be okay and that he didn't need to be in his life. So I just don't know. I don't know. I'm skeptical about that part.
Well, here's another interesting nugget in all of this is that according to Entertainment Weekly, there is another person, another familiar face who will be popping up on this show. Maybe this familiar face, whoever it may be, could have helped Harrison to some degree. But once again, it's kind of hard to think about, okay, what random person from Dexter, the original series, is going to randomly, whether they're helping Harrison or not, sort of show back up in this world at this point?
Yeah, it's definitely a question mark. I mean, we'll have to wait till the show comes back to figure that out.
It's at least another good mystery. But okay, here's the real reason I am fairly optimistic about New Blood, because if Clyde Phillips, the original showrunner, was not involved in this, I don't know how excited I would be. But he is back. He is taking on this role. He is responsible for Dexter when Dexter was like legitimately awesome. So that makes me a little bit excited that they know what they are doing.
Also, we're briefly gonna have John Lithgow back, which I was kind of like, how? I don't even care. I'm so excited that he's gonna be back. I mean, season 4 was one of the best seasons of the show. It's just fantastic.
I'm gonna throw my theory out here with John Lithgow that we're gonna be seeing you Deb as a conscience, and then maybe at some point when like Dexter's having some really dark impulse, then we're gonna have Trinity like show up in his head at that point and be like, hey there, buddy, remember me? And it's just going to be like all creepy and kind of terrifying. If that happens, can we have Miguel Prado back too for a split second? I love season 3. Season 3 is vastly underrated. I'm saying it.
I think season 5 is also vastly underrated. I love Johnny Lee Miller, and he was really creepy in that role. I mean, they've had some very good villains over the years that have had a really heavy influence on Dexter, but John Lithgow's character Trinity really had a heavy influence on him.
It's going to be exciting to have this show back. I think we will have all sorts of theory discussions, just great Dexter related content. So remember, November 7th.
Yep.
It is back. We will be back discussing all of it, and hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss our coverage of that. We also have Yellowstone, Power Book 2 Ghost, Succession, The Blacklist. This is a very, very busy fall for us here at the channel.
Yeah, it really is.
Let us know, what do you guys think about Dexter New Blood on paper? Are you excited for this injection of new blood? into the franchise? Let us know in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you here next time.